have receipts. We weren't supposed to be there.
Stupid.
Terminate your membership.
Oh, goodness gracious. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis Mays, and as you read by the title, you're in for a treat. Before we get to that, make sure you hit the subscribe button because I post a new video every single week. Yeah, let's get into this video. I got kicked out of my sorority. Yep, I did. So I graduated college in 2020. Yep, this year. What a ride, what a ride. I was in a sorority my freshman year of college. Now, disclaimer, I am not going to say the name of my sorority I was in. You can definitely go creep on my Instagram if you want to get into it, but I'm specifically not going to name the sorority and I'm not going to name the university I go to. I'm not going to hide it from you guys, but I'm just not going to personally tell you because I honestly don't want to get sued, even though like there's no reason for them to like sue me, you know? You guys, you may want a little snacky poo or like a little drinkity drink. Moving on, let us go back to the summer of 2016. The summer of 2016, I didn't even think I was gonna join a sorority, to be honest. I was thinking like, that's not me. I am not girly and like peppy, but I just like, it wasn't for me. I did not grow up wealthy. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, I thought sororities were only for rich people. My friends convinced me to just rush and I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go for it, whatever. I'll put down the $100 deposit to start, just to go talk to these people, I guess. And so I really got into character. I was like,
Alexis?
You're gonna make your best impression to these ladies that could potentially be my lifelong sisters. I did it. I definitely put on that face. I always got called back to the maximum houses, like back to 10, back to 6, back to 3 or whatever it was throughout the week. That happened. And I was really going toward this one sorority because I knew a butt ton of people in it. And I was like, I could totally see myself like being sisters with those girls. Like I could totally see us like doing that philanthropy. I like loved the organization that we I guess sponsored. Is that how you say it? Like sponsored every year and that we were attached to. And I just felt really passionate with the people I was around and just everything about it. Like I just fell in love with like the idea of being in a sorority to me was, I guess, like a dream because I didn't grow up with a sister per se. Yes, I have my stepsister that you see in every video, but I didn't grow up with a sister and I always wanted one. Sorry, Taryn, I know you don't watch these videos, but you weren't my cup of tea all my life. I mean, we were besties, but I always wanted the girl to share clothes with. And now I had that with a sorority potentially. This is where the drama starts, guys. This is where I didn't know drama was starting, but everyone and their mom knew drama was starting. That was above me. Okay, so I get into a sorority. We have bid day. So if you don't know what bid day is, it is a day where you and your new sisters, you go to the house that you had chosen and they had chosen you, and you hang out with them. You throw a party, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, probably because COVID happened, that didn't happen for 2020 girls.
Hopefully.
I know some of you stinky ass bitches still had parties and stuff. I know who you are. I know who you are, okay? So we had bid day. And so we went to this rooftop bar that is in my city that I live in. And we just hung out there for a little bit. Like we took our pictures, we held up our signs, took pictures of like everybody in my new pledge class, because it's called a pledge class if you didn't know that. Yeah, in my pledge class of 2016. And we hung out there at the rooftop for not very long, to be honest. But I didn't think anything of it at the time, but we were all underage people at this rooftop bar. It didn't, like, they didn't ID us at all. They didn't even like think twice about letting us into a bar, which was very weird at the time.
I think.
I didn't have any drinks there, I don't think. It was 4 years ago, like 4.5 years ago. I don't remember that stuff. But apparently we weren't supposed to be there.
Stupid.
The older girls set that up for us to be there. I guess that's caused some trouble with standards. If you don't know what standards is, that is like the court of law basically for your sorority. So we got in trouble with that for the first time. I didn't even know we were in trouble until probably like 2 months later when they told us our formal couldn't happen. And I was like,
why the hell not?
And they were like,
because you guys got in trouble for bid day because you weren't supposed to be on a rooftop bar.
and I'm like,
How the fuck?
As a freshman, I was new. I was such a baby to all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, you guys are all in trouble. Sorry, you're gonna have to just not have a formal for the rest of your fall semester. I was so hurt by that. We had one formal that was allowed because the word hadn't gotten around yet. This is kind of confusing, I know. Stick with me, I will tell you at the end why I got kicked out and like the whole process. I have receipts. We had that one formal, everything went fine. But then after that, we got the news that we couldn't have any more formals. We were in trouble. You were on basically lockdown. You could barely meet with your sisters. You had to do X, Y, and Z. So that happened in fall semester where we got in trouble at bid day. Moving on to second semester, we are still in trouble. I don't even know what the correct term is right now. We had to, as a group, okay, so we basically as a group had to sit down and like recuperate. We had to talk about what we had to do in the coming spring semester to make it that so we could have like formals again, like we could have like social events again, because that is the whole part of being in a sorority, is being a social freaking butterfly. You get to hang out with all the
frat dudes.
You get to hang out with your sisters. You get to go to these cool ass events just for your sorority and your fraternities. We didn't get to have that like the end of our fall semester, so we were pushing to have that in the spring semester, because in the spring semester we have crave. Crave was this big ass formal that like everyone looked forward to, like out of the 4 fraternities and sororities that were in it, we all looked forward to it because you got to dress in fun colors and bright like lights everywhere. You gotta like, it just looked freaking cool, like throwback to the 80s, like 100%. Oh goodness, when we got granted crave back in, what was it, like February, I think? February of 2017, we were all going crazy. We're like, holy shit, we get to have crave, like we did so good, guys, like don't fuck this up, because this is what like the standards and like this is what people are going to be looking at. And so like you got to like be on your best behavior for crave, like no messing this up. And we're all like,
Yeah.
we're freshman pledge class 2016, we're definitely not going to mess this up. And let me tell you, pledge class of 2016 did not mess this up at all. I know we're all one group, but we had no idea what was going on. Oh, it's so frustrating to think about it nowadays. But like, oh my goodness, I could go off. We were all like wanting to do crave, right? We got our groups for crave. We had like, I think 4 party buses that happened. So we split up into different groups. And so we all got picked up from our sorority house that happened to be on campus, which the place I go, our houses are on campus for the most part. We got picked up there, but one of the party buses, a girl in my sorority had a medical problem. And so this caused, she was on the party bus and the ambulance had to come to our sorority house and get her. Anytime that an ambulance is called to our campus, the college is notified. Because there was underage drinking on this said party bus and this said girl was underage, shit hit the fan, people, shit hit the fan. Our whole integrity of our whole sorority was questioned. Like, we were literally the laughing stock of all the sororities and fraternities for the rest of that year because of this event. I had literally no idea any of this happened until probably 2 to 3 weeks later. They're like, you guys are in trouble. And I'm like,
For what? What did we do this time?
our pledge class literally was so in the dark about any of these things that I am thoroughly like still pissed about it. I know I said that many times, but like I literally still don't know why we're in trouble. Anyway, come March, we couldn't meet with our sisters. We couldn't go to events. We're like totally cut off from the whole sisterhood aspect because of what we're in trouble with. So we all got emails saying that we had to show up and talk to the national people of our sorority and talk to them about why we should be sisters, why we deserve to stay in the sorority. I didn't know at the time that they were looking for honest answers, obviously. And I told them like word for word, like, and like what I remembered happened on my party bus that night and what I thought was allowed and what wasn't. I told them I was drinking. It's not a mystery that in college people drink. Like, that's gonna happen. They were like, you can be honest with us. Like, we're not gonna get mad. This isn't gonna go against you. And I'm like, dope. Okay, yeah, I drank. Did I think it was a problem? No. They were like, do you know what happened on the other party bus? I'm like, no, what the hell happened? And then they asked me like what members I thought should be kicked out. And I'm like, what are you I thought we were just chatting. I thought we were just chit-chatting about like my sisterhood. Why do you have to throw other people under the bus? And when that happened, I was like, do I even want to be in this type of sorority if this is like the kind of questions I'm going to get asked? Well, I walked out of that room, I probably was bright red. I probably had freaking flames coming out of my head. That happened in like March, I think. We got a letter saying like, hey, you're up for termination of the sorority, but if you want to write a letter to the head of the sororities, like the national people, we will allow you to send that letter and they might reconsider their offer or their termination of you. And so I'm like, dope, I will definitely send that letter. I'm like really good at writing. That's like the thing I do. I thrive writing. So I wrote this amazing letter. Like, I got teary-eyed reading it to myself the other day and I was like, holy crap, like how'd I get kicked out because of this? Let me read you some parts of it, okay? One second, let me find this thing. I got the receipts. I'm not gonna show you guys because no way, shape or form do I want to get in trouble again. This letter, I tell you when okay, reading back, this is kind of cheesy, but it's fine, okay? So in this letter, we were asked to talk about what like taking responsibility for your actions was about to you, how we would do that in the future. And like, I talked about how much I love the upperclassmen because they helped me with literally everything. Like, we had study files and like if I needed advice, like they would help me. They would drive me places if I needed it. Like, they were honestly the best. I said the events of Crave set us back quite a bit. When I received the news that we could no longer hold blank events, I cried. I didn't get to see my sisters as much and it was hard to stay in the loop about what was happening. When I had heard the news that we had to interview with the executive office, I believed this was the end to my short time as a member of. During my interview, we discussed changes that I would like to see occur in the chapter and discussed the events of Crave. I now know what I would like to see change in moving forward in the following years. So then I talked about the bond of sisterhood and the perpetual bond, if that gives you any hint of what sorority I was in. What a joke, goddamn. Okay, but yeah, we had that interview. I sent that letter and then I got a different letter in the mail. I got an email saying, our decision has been made. You will be getting a letter in the following weeks. We got the letter and it says, Dear Alexis, the executive board has carefully considered the recommendation for disciplinary action under Article of the bylaws of the fraternity. It is the decision of the executive board to
Terminate your membership.
Sincerely from the executive board. That's so stupid. Because I sent them the email on April, like the second week of April, and then we got this letter a week after, or 2 weeks after. To think, I don't even think they opened up my letter. I literally don't think they opened up my email and read a single thing I had to say whatsoever. I think they didn't read a lick of it. They read the title, they read who it's from, and they're like, probably not. Like that night, I
Got so drunk.
I was like, fuck this, fuck standards. I can post a picture of my red Solo cup. I can take a picture with a beer can in the background, like, and not worry about it. Cause that's the shit that happens if you're in a sorority. In my sorority, you couldn't, if this was a beer right here, it would have to be out of the picture. Like, you'd have to Photoshop it out or take a new one or delete it because standards would be on your asshole. Yes, they would. Looking back on it, it was so tough being in a sorority. I think I truly found myself the minute I got kicked out, which is weird to think. Other things happened. We got like lots of mac and cheese the night we got kicked out. We went to the house because we sold our car, like our keys. Oh my God, I bet I still have the key to the sorority. Oh my gosh. Ah, I do. I still have the key to the sorority. If you guys want this, come get me. Actually, get my money back first. I paid upwards of $6,000 plus, probably more than that, to be in the sorority. And I didn't get a lick of it back. We got terminated 2 months left in the semester. I didn't get a lick of the money back. a lick of it back. And I still had to pay my dues. My dues, like for study hours and shit like that, which it was so hard. I could go into a whole different video of why sorority life was not for me, but this is just my why I got kicked out video. So, in all of that you heard, I got kicked out because of something I didn't do out of my pledge class. About 75% of us got kicked out. We didn't know anything that was happening, and we had no idea that bid day in 2016 was gonna be the worst decision that the upperclassmen could have made for us. I could still have been in the sorority. I could have been an alumni, but no, I got kicked out. I mean, I'm not gonna say it was not my fault at all, but if I was in the loop at the time, it would have been a different story. But yeah, I got kicked out because I literally wasn't given a chance to redeem myself as a person, like personally. The whole sorority did, but me personally, I didn't get a chance to redeem myself. Also, I had really freaking good grades. I had 1 B+ and the rest A's my freshman year of college. And that's extremely hard to do, especially the classes I was taking. I also was the only, I was the only black person in the whole sorority. Not that that makes a huge difference, but I would think living in the state I do, diversity, like you'd want diversity to make yourself look different, but that's a whole different video I could get into too. But if this is unclear why I got kicked out of my sorority, it should be very clear from what I said, why I got kicked out. It was for no reason. No reason. I still liked most of the girls that were in it, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not shitting on the people, I'm shitting on the whole system. Yeah, okay. Let's go to the outro because that was a lot. I'll be like sweet and fun in the outro, okay? 1 second. Okay guys, that was the video. It was kind of juicy. I didn't get into like extensive detail because that would have been like an 80-minute long video. Yeah, if you're watching this on December 3rd, which is the day I'm gonna post this, it's my birthday. It's my birthday right now. I would really appreciate it if you just gave it a like, maybe subscribed, I don't know. Thank you guys for watching and subscribe, and yeah, love you guys. Bye.
Lucky, I'm worried that they never gon' love me.